Hello and welcome to episode 44 of my Salem tutorial series. This episode is going to be on us making a woo-woo wand and then using that and a dowsing rod to prospect. So we can look for water and we can look for an iron node and also a copper node. And then we will build a mine entrance. Firstly, I want to say a huge thank you to Nixos. I hope I've pronounced that correctly. Excuse me, sorry. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I want to thank Nixos for all his excellent comments, full of useful information about the wonderful Salem. And he shows that he has a very comprehensive knowledge of Salem, which hopefully everybody is getting as we move along with this series. Anyway, thank you very much, Nixos. You're a very helpful, kind person for sharing your knowledge. Okay, so you've been to market and you've bought a pickaxe and you bought a dowsing rod and you're getting sick of going and having to keep buying nails and tools, and you just want to get to the stage where you can make them yourselves. Well, the good news is you will be able to make the nails very soon. The bad news is that to make tools you need wrought iron bars, and they are still a long way off. But however, you will be able to make things like nails, buckles, and of course you will be able to get iron. So it's not all bad, and we will get to wrought iron bars, but with Salem you do need to be patient. The more difficult the game gets, the longer it will take to achieve our end goals and targets, which is why I am stepping us there slowly but surely. I'm not trying to rush to end game. I want people who come across this series to enjoy the game as I did and am, and that is at a leisurely pace. If you do too much at once, then the game will become a bit of a nightmare where you've got to take care of so many different things and worry about this and that. So we're getting there slowly but surely. Anyway, so let's make ourselves then a woo-woo wand. Now in the skills you've learnt mining, which has allowed us to construct, what does it say there? I'm trying to read that. A mine supports, and well, anyway, mining is what we needed to do. It's all well and good us prospecting and finding ores, but we need to be able to mine them, so that's why you learnt mines. Also, something else that you will need to learn is torches. Now you don't need a great deal of proficiency points for it. The biggest is sparks and embers, which you can get with flaming pine cones. Sugar and spice, use a beetle. And lore and lore, well, in your fishing traps you will have an item that gives you lore and lore. Well, let's go take a quick look and I can show you. So for lore and lore, in your fishing traps, hopefully you're using them, you'll get this, a mermaid's purse. That gives you your lore and lore, as you can see, and it gives you well over the amount you need. But you will need torches before we start going into our mine, because that's a fast way to start going mad. And as you can see, I've gained a madness level. I don't know how I gained that. I only did a little bit of digging, but I do love digging, so you know that's going to be something that always happens to me. Anyways, let's make this woo-woo wand. So to make the woo-woo wand, click on craft, then go to tools, click the arrow to go to the next page, and there's our woo-woo wand. Click on that. To make the woo-woo wand, you will need one branch, 2 leather, and 1 myrtle oak leaf. Of course you know how to get leather now, and you know how to get the myrtle oak leaf, and you know how to get the branch. So let's craft. Okay, so we have the woo-woo wand. Now just quickly, so I don't forget about the torch, let's make the torch quickly. Once you've learnt the skill torches, like I've shown you there, you'll then be able to make a torch. To make a torch, you'll go to Craft and Tools and click the next page again, and there is the torch. To make the torch is really simple: 2 sharpened sticks and 6 grass, and we'll click Craft. Now I won't use the torch yet, but the torch will come into its own in the next episode, which we will start mining some ores. Okay, so we have the woo woo wand. Let's open up our inventory and let's open the tool belt. Now you will see in the tool belt I've got a pickaxe that I purchased and a dowsing rod. So we're going to use the woo woo wand to start with. So what we will need to do is I'll need to take my teddy bear out, and the axe I will put in the tool belt. The woo woo wand needs 2 free hands, so let's put that in my hand. You see it takes up both hand spaces. What we will do is now we will start to prospect, and we will use the woo woo wand to start with. To prospect, equip your woo woo wand, go to adventure and then click prospect. You will notice an arrow appears above your head, pointing in all different directions. It settles very briefly. Basically what I do, zoom all the way out, start walking. It's a very easy thing to do. So with the prospecting, you'll see nothing's going down. We can prospect as long as we like. Okay, so we're just going to walk around. Now with the woo woo wand, it will help us find water. So walking all the way over here. Oops, I walked onto that person's thingy. Okay, so we'll go up here. There's no water there. Scroll out even more. We'll go over here. Okay, now you're probably wondering if you have an inquisitive mind, which most of you do, thankfully. Okay, before I answer it, before I say what I was about to say, let's put it into a question instead, because I've been letting you have it easy lately. I've not been engaging you much. Let's engage you now. Here's a question for you. We have our woo woo wand and we have a dowsing rod. What is the difference between the two? Okay, give you a moment to think about that. You see here, if we read this, it says equip dowsing rod allows you to use the prospect command under the adventure menu to search for mines and well points. Okay, if we hover over the woo woo wand, while what's that say, science has brought forth the wonder that is the modern dowsing rod, many outback settlers and Indians still employ the tried and tested woo woo wand when prospecting for wells or metals. Okay, now I've just read both of them to you. What's the difference between the woo woo wand and the dowsing rod? Well, let's show you. Okay, looking here, we're prospecting, aren't we? And it tells you that you can look for wells and metals. But what it doesn't tell you is the woo woo wand will find water, the dowsing rod will find metal. Let's swap them over. Okay, let's prospect. Oh, look at that. All of a sudden, with the dowsing rod, with the woo woo wand, there was nothing here. With the dowsing rod, there suddenly appeared some ore. Now, if we walk over here just to further demonstrate this, we went this way before I went up there, didn't we? And we didn't see anything over here. But let's go over and have another look using the dowsing rod. And there we go, another ore node. So as you can see, the woo woo wand does not pick up the ore nodes. The dowsing rod is not picking up the water. So let's now switch back. Let's walk away from that person's claim. Let's re-equip the woo woo wand. Now let's see if we can find some water. So there's the difference between the dowsing rod and the woo-woo wand. One will show you water, the woo-woo wand, and the dowsing rod will show you metal nodes. Now, I couldn't go looking using the woo-woo wand before the episode because obviously I hadn't made one. So I'm not sure where there is some water, but hopefully there will be some somewhere. I've noticed that you don't generally find a water node near the sea or lakes. You have to go inland a bit. It makes sense. What's the point in there being a water node right next to the sea or the lake? There's no point at all for that. But that's okay. I will walk up here, see if we can find something. Just make sure that I did restart the prospecting once I'd changed tools. It's typical, okay. I checked for ores and there were them 2 ore nodes. I didn't check for water because I thought, well, there's bound to be some somewhere. But that's proving to be a little difficult. Still, normally my Salem episodes are short, so you can have an extra treat of this being a longer episode for Salem. Hopefully you will enjoy that. Okay, there was a water node because someone they've built a well, and I shouldn't imagine they built a well, been able to build a well unless it was on water. But that doesn't help us because it doesn't show us the actual node and what it looks like. I want you to see it. You'll know when you see one because it'll be like an ore node, but it'll be blue. I wonder if I've got to do this episode for about an hour looking for water. That won't be very good. Okay, so it finds iron. That down south must have been copper. So the woo-woo wand will find iron, but it won't find copper. So the difference between the woo-woo wand and the dowsing rod is the woo-woo wand will find water and iron, but the dowsing rod will find iron and copper. So I'm glad I did walk a bit further, so there's a little correction to myself. Okay, sorry about that, but there we go, got there in the end. That's the difference. The woo-woo wand will find you iron but not copper, whereas the dowsing rod will, but it won't find water. Unless it will find water, I just didn't find any with my dowsing rod. I imagine the dowsing rod being much more difficult to make, much more expensive, that it will find water, so let's check. There's a water node, see it's blue. You see back there that other node was iron. I don't know if you can remember the difference in colour between iron and copper, but the copper one obviously looks a little darker. Right, what I'm going to do now is a little experiment. We know there's water node there, so let's turn off prospecting. Let's switch the tools. Actually, if I put that there, and no, I can't do that. Okay, let's put that back in there. See, if I try and put the woo-woo wand in my tool belt, it doesn't let me. So anyway, we'll put the dowsing rod in our hand. Let's prospect again. Oh no, well, it doesn't pick up water. Even though it says it picks up well points, it does not. So there we go then. The dowsing rod will find you iron, and if we walk back over here we should see that iron node. If I didn't go too far from it. Oh, there it is up there. So yeah, you can see that the dowsing rod finds you iron and copper. Woo-woo wand will find you iron and water. So let's switch them back. Prospect. So there we are. That's that. Right, let's now go back. Now that you know how to find iron, water and copper, let's go back and build ourselves a mine entrance. Now one of my alts already has an iron mine, and I don't intend, like I've said to you previously, on doing much mining with this character because I enjoy digging too much and that makes me crazy enough. If I was to do mining and digging, I would be probably dead soon through madness. So with this character I shall focus on digging, and I shall use my alts for acquiring all my ores. But having said that, I want to show you how to make a mine entrance, so we shall do that now. Cool, I had to go a long way for water, as you can see. There seems to be a lot more nodes of ores than there are than water, unless I've just been very unlucky with all the times I've looked for it. Oh, there's a beaver. I shall be coming back for him later. Make me some more tanning fluid. We will be needing lots more leather, so it's always good to get that. Okay, right, so over here we will switch tools. Let's put our teddy back because I'll be needing that when I log off. Okay, let's prospect. Right, okay, so here is a copper node. Notice it's darker than the iron node we just saw a moment ago. And let's pick up a few materials. Let's now place our mine entrance. So with the prospecting still on, we click build, buildings and structures, and mine entrance. The ground that you want to build your mine entrance on has to be flat. I've already shown you how to become an expert at terraforming. That will not be a problem for you. So once you find a node, flatten the ground, then just left click the mine entrance on it. Remember, if you hold the left shift key and use the scroll wheel on the mouse, you can change its direction, and just left click. There we go. This is what we're going to need to build our mine entrance. So let's start building. As you can see, a lot of materials. 30 fresh boards, 40 bricks, 20 stone and 8 nails. But by building this, once you've purchased your pickaxe, we then have as much ores as we want. Of course, this will only acquire us copper ore as far as I'm aware, so I will rely on my other alts to get me my iron. Because I've lost a madness level already, I need to get that back before I show you mining, but we shall mine in the next episode. Okay, so let's grab some more materials. See, I have been a little prepared this time. Normally I'm running around like a headless chicken, looking for all of the bits I need. Fortunately, this time I had the good sense to actually get it all prepared here. Ugh, alright, sorry, I'm going to be a bit slow. Let's put one back. Don't you just hate that? When you walk up to something, an object, and because you're not quite facing it right, it just won't let you. Okay, that's a bit better. Okay, let's add some more. Let's build. Yeah, it takes a little while to build it, but not that bad. I'm sure you'll agree. Just think about all of the wonderful resources we will get from this. We will be able to mine stones, and later on we will learn another skill and be able to make our own glass panes eventually. With the glass panes we will be able to build these scarecrows, or somewhat useful scarecrows, or whatever they're called, that Nexus mentioned, and to protect our fields, to stop the crows giving us a high upkeep. Again, what Nexus mentioned. Thank you, Nexus, for mentioning all of that. So we will be able to get some of the materials out of our mine to help us make our somewhat useful scarecrows. Now, while I'm building this, something for you to decide on. You will notice that I have not been doing two things. Number one, I've not built any walls. Number two, people who generally make a mine will protect the mine with a claim. I do not bother doing that. One, because I want to let other people use the mine if they so wish to. And two, I don't put walls up because if someone wants to come along and take something, they can be my guest. They can take whatever they want. Everything you get in Salem you can replace. So that's why personally I don't bother with walls or putting a claim over my mine. But that's not to say that you will not want to. If you do not put a claim over your mine, there's a chance someone else can. So bear that in mind. It's totally up to you. I'd say to you though, they're so common, the nodes, and I've not decided yet whether I want to settle here or not. So that's another reason why I'm not worried about putting a claim over this mine. If someone claims it, fine, good luck to them. I'll just go somewhere else. I use my alts for all my mining. That should answer the question for you. But having said that, my alts do not put a claim over their mines either. I think that would be a little unfair for me to do lots of alts and start claiming it all, so I don't do that. It's up to you whether you wish to, but I don't. And I don't want to give an example of someone that does, so there we go with that. Okay, we are getting there. You can see as we progress, some of the structures just take longer and longer to make, but it's still doable. This will actually be my first copper mine that I've made, so that's good. We'll be able to make a copper pot to celebrate at some point, no doubt. The next episode we will get into blacksmithing, so we will be making, we go to the tools, let's see if I can find it. No, I went to the wrong place. Oh. Okay, so we're going to need to make we need to make a grindstone, so we'll make a grindstone. We need to make an anvil. We can't make the anvil till we have iron. We aren't going to buy iron anymore once we've got our mine up and running, so we save ourselves money with iron. We shall be making our own. So we're going to be doing that in the next episode, blacksmithing, if all goes well. Okay, what am I missing? I'm missing 10 boards. Oh, I bet I didn't bring enough boards. There's always got to be something. It's only 10 boards. I can do them in one trip. Do I look bothered? No. So let's just have one more check. Felt sure that I got all the boards. No. Losing the plot again. So let's just quickly go and grab some boards. Very easy to make. Ugh. Don't you just hate it when you do that? Right, let's get the boards. See, there was me waffling on about how prepared I was, and all the time I was just preparing myself to trip over. But it don't matter, I got there in the end. So let's put the boards on and finish this mine entrance. Okay. Oops, let's eat. Bang, there we go. There is our mine entrance. Now at this point you will be tempted to go into your mine and have a look around. Do not do that unless you have a lit torch. The torch just goes in your hand. If I can get it there. In fact, let's put that back in my there, and let's put the torch there. Okay, the torch has no fuel. Oh yes it does. Okay, well it's got fuel. I think I'll stop there. I don't know how long I've been recording for, so I probably have gone through the 30 minutes. We will look at the torch and how to use it, how to add fuel to it, how to mine and how to use the mine in the next episode. We'll also, if we can, make an anvil and a grindstone. Wherever you are in the world, God bless you and keep every last one of you safe. Thank you for watching and have a fantastic day. I hope you've enjoyed this episode on prospecting and making a mine entrance. Goodbye.